Men, listen carefully. I know you've been told that sex is all about performance, about how long you last, about the moves you pull from a movie or something you overheard in a locker room. But that's a lie. The truth is, the most powerful moments in the bedroom aren't about technique alone. They're about connection, about making her feel something so deep she can't joke about it the next day. There are certain positions, only a few, that awaken something in a woman. They're not just physical, they are emotional triggers. They make her feel safe enough to open up, yet overwhelmed enough to surrender. And when you do them right, she will never forget you. But here's the part most men miss. These positions aren't just about pleasure. They're about dominance and vulnerability combined, about looking her in the eyes and saying, without words, you matter. I see you. I own this moment with you. If you're tired of casual encounters that feel empty, if you're ready to become the man she respects in and out of the bedroom, pay attention. Because once you learn these two positions and the mindset that makes them powerful, you will never have to wonder if you satisfied her. You will know. Men, I'm going to tell you something most guys refuse to believe. A woman will forget the positions you try. She will forget the rhythm you think you nailed, but she will never forget how you made her feel in that moment. This is why mindset comes before any position. The biggest mistake men make is going and thinking, what can I do to impress her? Instead of, how can I connect with her? You can pull off the flashiest moves in the world, but if your mind is focused on performance instead of presence, she'll feel it. And once she feels that disconnection, it's over, she's just waiting for it to end. Here's the truth: women crave a man who leads, but they also crave a man who sees them. Your confidence sets the entire tone of the encounter. Confidence isn't loud. It isn't you talking yourself up. It's in your body language, in how you take control without being rough, in how you slow things down instead of rushing. When a man enters intimacy with calm authority, a woman feels something shift. She relaxes. Her guard drops. Why? Because she senses that you're not desperate for validation. You're grounded in who you are. That makes her trust you enough to fully give herself to the moment. And here's the part that separates high-value men from everyone else. They're not just there to take pleasure. They're there to create an experience. Your mindset should be, this is not about me performing. This is about us connecting. When you think like that, your touch changes, your pace changes, your energy becomes steady and magnetic. Before the first kiss, before your hands even explore her, let your mindset be clear. I am leading this moment with intention. I'm not chasing a reaction. I'm creating an experience she'll remember. When you approach her like this, the positions you use later will hit different. They won't just be physical, they'll be layered with emotional safety and desire. And that's the combination that makes her never joke about it, because it meant something to her. Remember, the man she remembers isn't the one who tried the most tricks. It's the one who made her feel the most alive. Men, I want you to understand something that's often overlooked, but incredibly powerful in intimacy. Your eyes speak louder than your hands. Most men avoid eye contact during sex because they're too focused on their own pleasure. They're self-conscious, or they think it's awkward. But for a woman, eye contact can flip a switch deep inside her. It's not about staring her down. It's about looking at her in a way that says, right now, you are my entire world. Why is this so important? Because women connect through emotional cues far more than physical ones. When your eyes lock with hers, you're doing more than looking. You're anchoring her in the moment. You're telling her without words, I'm here with you. I'm not distracted. I'm not thinking about anything else but us. That is rare. That is magnetic. But here's the truth. Eye contact is vulnerable. For you and for her. It exposes both of you. That's why it works. When she sees you willing to be fully present, she feels safe enough to drop her guard and meet you in that same vulnerable space. And once you reach that point, every movement, every touch, every word you speak will land with 10 times the impact. The secret is timing. You don't need to lock eyes every second. In fact, if you overdo it, it feels forced. Instead, use it like a weapon during key moments. Right when you enter her. Right when you slow down. right when you whisper something only she can hear. In those moments, your eyes become the bridge between her body and her heart. Also, understand this. Eye contact is not just about dominance, it's also about reassurance. You can hold her gaze in a way that says, I'm leading, but also, I've got you. That dual message is intoxicating for a woman. Men who master this don't just have sex. They create experiences that echo in her mind long after. She might forget the music playing, she might forget the exact position, but she'll remember how you looked at her and how it made her feel like she was the only woman in the world. Men, this first position isn't about showing off. It's about creating an emotional and physical lock that makes her feel both claimed and cared for. I call it the deep wrap, and when you do it right, it's not just sex. It's a moment she'll play back in her mind again and again. Here's how it works. Imagine your face to face, bodies close, her legs wrapped around your waist, whether you're standing or on the edge of the bed. You're holding her, not just for balance, but in a way that says, you're not going anywhere. This is ours. Why does this position work so well? First, the closeness. There's no distance between your bodies. Your chest is against hers, your breath mixing, your heartbeat close enough for her to feel. That's intimacy on a primal level. It reassures her that you're fully present. Second, the control. You're supporting her weight, controlling the pace and the depth. This makes her feel protected and desired at the same time. When you slow down intentionally, she feels every inch of you, and that's where the emotional magic happens. Here's what you have to remember. Your hands aren't just holding her. They're communicating. One hand on her lower back says, I've got you. The other hand exploring her body, her hair, or the back of her neck says, I want you. This combination of security and desire taps into her deepest feminine energy. And don't forget your eyes here. This position gives you the perfect opportunity for those intentional, brief moments of deep eye contact we talked about in Chapter 2. Hold her gaze when you slow down, when you change rhythm, or right before you kiss her. That's how you layer physical pleasure with emotional connection. One more thing, breathe with her. Sensing your breathing naturally pulls her deeper into the moment. If you're calm and steady, she relaxes and surrenders. If you rush, she feels rushed. This position isn't about chasing release. It's about building an atmosphere where she feels possessed in the best possible way. When you combine dominance, closeness, and presence in this way, she'll never joke about it afterward because you've given her a memory she'll protect. If the first position was about intimacy and dominance combined, this second one is about unlocking her deepest instinct, to completely let go and surrender herself to you. I call it the anchor. In the anchor, she's on her stomach, hips slightly elevated with a pillow under her waist, and you're behind her. At first glance, it might seem purely physical, but here's the real power. This position puts her in a state where she feels taken, but not in a way that strips her dignity, in a way that makes her feel cherished and claimed. Why is this so powerful? First, it taps into primal attraction. You're in control of the depth, angle, and rhythm. That sense of you guiding every movement makes her relax into submission. But second, and this is what most men miss, your hands are the key. Too many men treat this position like it's just thrusting. High-value men understand it's an opportunity to create layers of sensation. One hand anchored on her hip says, I'm here, I'm holding you. The other tracing her spine, her shoulders, or lightly pulling her hair says, I desire you endlessly. Your voice matters here too. Lean in close to her ear, let your breath touch her skin, and say something in a low, steady tone. It doesn't have to be dirty. Sometimes a slow, you're mine, will do more than anything explicit. This activates an emotional safety zone inside her while heightening the physical pleasure. This position also removes eye contact, which paradoxically increases its emotional punch. Because by now, you've built enough trust from earlier intimacy that she doesn't need to see your eyes to feel you're present. She can close hers and fully immerse herself, knowing you're leading every second. And here's the part that makes the anchor unforgettable when you control the tempo. Start steady and deliberate, then mix in deep, slow strokes that make her melt, followed by brief bursts of intensity. This unpredictability keeps her mind locked on you, unable to drift away. By the time it's over, she's not just physically satisfied, she's emotionally marked. This is the kind of moment she doesn't talk about casually because deep down, it meant something far more than she expected. Men, listen to me carefully. What you do in the first 3 minutes after intimacy will often mean more to her than everything you did during. Too many men treat sex like a finish line. They roll over, grab their phone, or walk away. And when you do that, you silently tell her, this was just physical. Even if you were amazing, that emotional vacuum can make her feel empty, cheap, or used. High-value men understand that intimacy doesn't end at climax. It ends when both of you have emotionally landed back together. Those few minutes after are when you lock in the memory you just created. So, what should you do? First, stay close. Don't break all contact. Even a simple arm across her body or pulling her into your chest sends the message. I'm still here with you. That's reassurance. That's emotional aftercare. Second, touch without expectation. Stroke her hair, trace circles on her back, kiss her forehead. This communicates tenderness and respect. She feels valued not just for her body, but for her. Third, use your words. You don't need a grand speech. A low calm, that felt amazing with you, or I love how we connect, can make her glow inside. These aren't just compliments. They're affirmations of the bond you share. Here's why this matters. After sex, a woman's emotional state is incredibly open. She's more receptive to your tone, your gestures, and your presence. If you fill that space with warmth, safety, and appreciation, you deepen her attachment to you. If you fill it with silence, distance, or distraction, you create doubt. And let's talk about pacing. Don't rush to get up. Give her time to feel held. That's where the memory of the night solidifies in her mind. She might not consciously say, he made me feel cared for, but her body will remember. Post-intimacy connection is what separates the man she forgets from the man she longs to see again. She may not tell her friends every detail of the night, but she will remember how she felt lying next to you afterward, and that memory will pull her back to you over and over. Men, you need to understand this. The bedroom is powerful, yes, but it's only part of the story. A woman can have incredible physical chemistry with you and still drift away if your presence outside the bedroom doesn't match the energy inside it. Becoming unforgettable means you're consistent. The man you are when you touch her is the same man you are when you speak to her, protect her, and lead her in everyday life. If in the bedroom you're confident, attentive, and emotionally present, but outside you're careless, distracted, or disrespectful, the impact fades fast. So how do you become the man she can't forget? First, carry yourself with quiet confidence everywhere. This isn't arrogance. It's being grounded in who you are, in your values, and in the way you handle challenges. Women